Okay, this is not working for me on Instagram. Okay, there we go. Hey, Toya.
Hey TJ, how are you?
I am doing good. I want to thank you for helping me test this live stream out. So we are live on Instagram and on YouTube. So today we are here to, I want to learn more about you. So, Toya, you are a matchmaker and you are a vlogger. Your vlog is called Car Dating Chronicles.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, so first, I want to understand what made you decide to get into matchmaking, and then also what encouraged the vlog. Like I've seen some, and I know it's based on like your dating stories, dating tips, all of that stuff, dating in Atlanta. Tell me all of that stuff.
What encouraged me to become a matchmaker was I saw in my own personal life. I mean, not currently because I am dating someone. I am in a relationship right now, so that's awesome. But what encouraged me, I know, right? And I'm happy, girl. Got that glow on me. It's all good.
Yes.
Yeah. But what encouraged me to want to matchmake and what made me feel so passionate about matchmaking is we live in a time where dating has been challenging for most of us. And I think that every last one of us have the same uh, had the same issues when it came to dating or when it came to connecting. And one thing I feel like in a certain age group, you're not outside in the clubs, you're not at the bars, you're a working professional. So it gets a little bit more challenging when it comes to meeting someone. And that's where I just felt really passionate about being a bridge with connecting people and connecting people who are very serious about having a healthy relationship, not just in and out, just trying to meet someone, just trying to have dinner with a person. I'm talking about real life connections and really, really wanting to have a partner, a life partner, a husband, a wife, whatever that may be, but longevity, not this microwave situation that we've been experiencing, that most of us have been experiencing. And
Right.
one thing about it, I can walk all up and down these hallways at Lenox Mall, and I can ask 22 people who are single, and they'll all say dating is hard in Atlanta. Dating is hard in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Everybody has something to say about dating in Atlanta. Now, I don't subscribe to that.
You
I
cannot.
I do not subscribe to that. I do not. I feel like dating is challenging anywhere, and I'm here to help break down what those challenges are, overcoming them, and connecting you with the right partner.
Got you. So I'm curious to know, like, break down some of those challenges because I know you personally, and I know you don't have no problem getting out and about and meeting people and dating and all of that stuff. A lot of people have been burnt, so they don't even want to be bothered with dating. They don't even want to get out of the house. Like you just said, they're working professionals. They'll use that as an excuse,
Yep.
and then that's it. But in reality, they want a partner, they want a significant other. So what are some challenges that they have, and then how do you break through those challenges with your
Well, one
clients?
thing, and I love that you asked that because one thing, if you felt like, first of all, we've all been burned. If you've
Right.
been out here dating, if you've been in relationships in your lifetime, everyone's been burnt. Everyone's had a not so good story or not good experiences. But if a person is saying, you know what, I'm burnt, I don't feel comfortable, then I think it's wise that you take your time and take that time to work on yourself.
Agreed.
I don't think that you should force yourself into anything. I think you need to be ready. So that's a good time. And I talk about that on Car Dating Chronicles. When you're in that transition part of dating, because that's a transition, when
Yeah.
you're in that part, I think it's really important to just take care of you and do you. And sometimes we have to build up that confidence again. Men have to do it, women have to do it. We have to just build that confidence back up. And it's okay to take a pause. If you've been scarred, if you've been burned, take the time to work on yourself.
Agreed. Okay, so what does taking the time to work on yourself look like? Because like some of these people will be, it's just being by themselves. They watching their favorite series and then they going off to bed. What does working on yourself really look like for somebody who has been burned but eventually does want to find a healthy partner?
So, one thing I think that working on yourself looks like is whatever it is that you want in a partner, you have to be to yourself.
Mm,
Okay.
that's true.
So, if you want um, someone to court you better, I think you need to court yourself. I think that if you want someone who's a little more patient, understanding, you have to give yourself that same clemency. Because
Right.
if you don't, how are you going to know what it even looks like when it comes?
You do not.
Right?
You
You
do not.
don't. You're so jaded and you're so guarded, very much like a porcupine, right? You want a
Yeah.
hug, but you got a whole bunch of pokers out here.
Right.
You want
It's
someone close, but you still have all these things that you have this armor that's going to get in the way.
no, it's definitely a mindset thing. You said something there. Like if you don't have patience within yourself and you're always downing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
when other people do it, it just justifies what you already think of yourself. So I
Yes.
think a big thing too is a mindset shift, right? Like when like people you approach and they say, well, dating in Atlanta is bad. Well, if you subscribe to dating in Atlanta is bad or dating is bad, subconsciously how our minds work, we want to prove how we feel right. So that's what we're going to lean to. That's the evidence we're going to lean towards. So
Yes.
it's really changing your mind, saying the things out loud, and then working on looking for evidence of those things as well. So you can shift your mindset. I think that's a huge thing too, along with the other things that you said.
Oh yeah. And to piggyback on what you just said, DJ, our minds are very powerful, and the
Absolutely.
things that come out of our mouth is very powerful. So if you
Yes.
sit up here and you're constantly talking about something negatively, you're going to constantly attract that negativity. But you
Absolutely.
start changing your thought process and start thinking about things in a positive state of mind, and it's not always easy. You have to start with
Mm-mm.
small things, but when you think in a positive state of mind, then you're going to start attracting positive. And I say this on one of my vlogs all the time: love attracts love. So when you start really loving you, you're going to get it.
Absolutely. Okay. Now I want to learn just a little bit more about what was the mind shift for you. Like I feel like we all kind of go through, like you said, we've all been burnt.
Yeah.
How did you move through being burnt and now you're in this happy relationship? Like you said,
Yes.
you are glowing. I see it.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
what's some examples you can give from your own personal experience that could help people?
Well, first of all, and I said this when I was on your show last year,
Yeah.
therapy was my friend. Therapy was my friend. I had to do a lot of self work and really dig in deep on what some things that I wasn't addressing that needed to be addressed prior to me even inviting someone else in my world. And people don't do that. People like people don't want to be by themselves. I think it's a fear. But when you're by yourself is when you can do the best work. And then you're not
You can.
projecting on other people. You're not taking your baggage and bringing that into a situation. So for me, I had to do that self work and I had to spend some time alone. I think alone time is necessary. You have to
Absolutely.
you have to spend time alone, and there you build and you work on yourself. And it's not an overnight thing. It's not an overnight process. It's something that happens, but it happens slow.
Yeah.
But you have
And,
to put in the work.
and you got to be okay. And people have to be okay with that as
Yes, and
well.
being alone, and being alone. It's so many people who I know, men and women. This is not just a female thing. This is not just a male thing. They are truly afraid to be by themselves, and you have to spend that time alone to figure out what you want, what you don't want, and what it is that you need to work on. And you can't work on something if you don't think you got a problem.
That's a fact. Now let me ask you this. Let me ask this because I'm really big on okay, doing the work, right? Like reading the books, going to therapy, understanding like your inner child and things that happen in childhood and why you maneuver the way you do in relationships, right? But
Right.
what is a good time for somebody to put in practice what they've learned? Like, because I'm really big on I think it's a lifelong journey. This is just my opinion. So
It is.
when is a good time for somebody to jump back out there when they've done some of the work and they've discovered some things about themselves?
I think a good time is when they feel ready, because that is subjective. You're going to wake up one day and say, you know what? Okay, I do want to see somebody. Oh, you know what? I do want to go on a date. And then it goes from there and you build on it from there. It doesn't necessarily mean that you want to get married right then and there. It may not even mean that you want to be in a full term relationship right then and there. But it
Yeah,
does mean that you're open enough to even spend some time with someone. It means you're open enough to even let somebody in and say, hey, you know what? I do want to enjoy some company of another person. And it starts there.
absolutely. Okay, definitely agree with you there.
Yeah.
Now, I need to know how the vlog got started, Car Dating Chronicles, because you done came on live and gave some crazy stories. How did that get started and why?
So how Carter Dating Chronicles started? It started last year. I was I was in the car with a girlfriend of mine, and we
Mhm.
were riding to work together. And I was in between vehicles, and so she was picking me up for a couple weeks until I bought another car. Okay.
Okay.
And so we were talking about dating, and she was asking me these questions, and she's like, "Toya, why this? How about this? Why that?" And I'm like, "Girl, let's hit record. Somebody needs to hear this." So prop that camera up. Shout out to technology. Prop
Yeah.
that camera up and hit record, and then we just started freestyling. And she was asking me questions, and I was giving some advice. And then that was the birth of Car Dating Chronicles.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Now my last question for you. You're a coach. What is the what is the number one thing you would want to leave with your clients?
I'm sorry, honey. What'd you say? What was the number one what?
What's the number one thing or advice you would want to leave with your clients?
The number one advice that I want to leave with anybody who I'm life coaching, anybody who I'm relationship dating coaching, is you have you have to take care of yourself first. You have to take care of yourself first. You cannot go into any situation not taking care of you, because often when we do want to be with someone and we're not taking care of ourselves, we'll put ourselves to the side. We'll put our wants and needs to the side because we're just trying to be something to someone else. And I think it just all starts with taking care of yourself first.
Absolutely. And you end up attracting people who need the love and care and they don't know how to pour back into you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And you
people
don't
don't
want to be
understand that the
codependent.
effects of that.
Yeah, you don't want
Mhm.
to be codependent. I feel like I had to learn that about myself years ago, that I was a very codependent human. And
Me too.
so I was codependent, and I felt like I wanted to fix people, and I felt like I wanted to, oh, I can be there for this person. I can fix them. I can make it better. And no, you have to start with you, because vultures will seek you out, and then you're left depleted.
Absolutely. That's another conversation for another day because I
Yes,
feel like too, if you're somebody who is just like what we're talking about, codependent, you're pouring all of yourself into them. You're not asking for anything because you're afraid to, or in your mind you don't feel like you need anything.
yeah,
People who are healthy and have a healthy mindset, they feel like what I've learned is they feel like it's hard to explain, but they feel like they'll feel obligated. Like it's not a mutual want. It's like you're forcing it being by overcompensating. And then you're
overcompensate.
not getting anything in return. So somebody who understands healthy balance, it would turn them off. Like it because it's not right, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, that's a whole nother conversation
it is.
for a
And we can
whole
tap into that anytime, because I'd love to talk about it.
yes, yes.
Love
Oh,
to talk about it.
tell the audience where they can find you if they want coaching, if they want to hear Car Dating Chronicles, all of that good stuff.
Yes, well, Car Dating Chronicles, you can find me on TikTok, and it is Car Dating Chronicles. And you know, my name is Toya, so if you see Toya Smith, that is me. Car Dating Chronicles, that's my vlog. On Instagram, I have started the exclusive dating club. And that is where you want to reach out to me if you are interested in some dating coaching, or if you are interested in matchmaking. Um, the Exclusive Dating Club, it's with an X. It is on Instagram. If you
Okay.
go on there and you want to connect with me, shoot me a message. Take my survey. It starts with a survey.
Okay.
Take the survey. This survey is going to tell me the things that I need to start off with finding you your partner. And it's exciting. I'm here for it. I want to be the bridge to help you. Let me help you.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So I'm gonna have all of those links in the show notes as well, because I'm gonna make this a small mini podcast.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for giving me some of your time today and helping me test this thing out.
Anytime, DJ. I love what you do. You
Thank you.
definitely are a catalyst and an inspiration in these dating streets. You definitely are one person that I have seen that I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get these people together. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Toya. All right, y'all. And until next time.
You guys have a great day. All right.